Hey everyone, my name's Chantal. I'm on Instagram as Chantal VSG, and I'm also on Facebook under my own page, which is Changing My Ways. Links will be posted at the bottom of the video if you do want to check it out. Please follow me, please like my page. The main purpose of this video was to discuss the procedure that I had done and how I've got to where I am now. So March 2015, I took probably the biggest step in my life, and I had a gastric sleeve done. I needed it because I was so overweight, and I was starting to have a lot of health problems, and I was told by my doctor that if I kept going the way that I was going, then I wasn't going to reach the age of 30. So it really gave me 3 years to sort my stuff out and make sure that I get my act together. To be told that you won't reach the age of 30 is quite confronting and quite scary. For myself, I've always been addicted to food, and I've used it. It's an addiction. I've used food to cover everything. So it's helped with anxiety, it's helped with depression, it's helped with breakups, it's helped with everything. Every emotion that I went through, I would use food. So if I was happy, if I was bored, if I was sad, if I was angry, I'd use food. So I'd be one of those people that goes and opens the fridge. I'd have a look around, there'd be nothing there that I really want, and then I'd go back 10 minutes later and open it and hoping something would magically reappear, which nothing really would. One of the main things is, which I'm still coming to terms with, is how did I get where I was prior to 14 months ago. So growing up, I had a really good family. I've got really good supportive parents, and my brother, they've always backed me up. When I was 16, I moved from the UK to Melbourne in Australia, and I was quite homesick for a long time. It took me a while to settle here. Again, food was used as a tool to help with that. I didn't really fit in well. I was kind of an outcast. Decided to kind of keep to myself, and I did hang out with the wrong crowd as well. It took me a while to live the lifestyle that everyone talked about, you know, what Australia represents. When I think of Australia, you think beach, sun, surf. That's not me. I'm from where there's cold and it rains and we wear big baggy stuff, and even though it has nothing to do with it, it's something that I do miss. So again, I think that contributed to me being homesick a lot of the time and being really depressed, and use food again as a tool. Because I was always the bigger girl in school, even in primary school, high school, I was often picked out as a target, and made fun of all the time. And as bad as it sounds, I kind of got used to it. Again, going back to food was kind of like my antidepressant. I'd hide it everywhere. I'd scavenge and put stuff in my bedroom, in my drawers, in my bags, anywhere I could find somewhere to hide something that was sweet, savoury, delicious. Anything that would make me feel amazing would be hidden. And also I think getting really comfortable in relationships later on in my life contributed to me putting a lot of weight on. So getting comfortable in that mentality of thinking, oh, well, this person loves me for who I am. It doesn't matter what I look like. At the end of the day, I was killing myself. I wasn't putting my healthy head on, and it's something that I do regret. And when I did get with my now partner, Grant, I did put on around 50 kilos, and that was me being too comfortable. So it was, whenever you see back then when I was overweight and quite large and I was putting more weight on and people were noticing I was putting weight on, I'd often get the, oh, you should try this diet, or you should try this pills, or you should try this program. And the more someone went on about my weight, the more I'd be quite reactive and I'd retaliate against it. I didn't really want to hear what they were saying. I didn't want to believe what they were saying because food was my life. Like, I loved everything. But realistically, I was an addict, and you know, people can be addicted to drugs, they can be addicted to alcohol, caffeine, smoking, but my biggest addiction, which I had to crack, was food. So the only way that I could crack this as addiction is to try and take it away. So at first I couldn't admit everything. I was in denial for so long, but I constantly started getting health problems to do with my obesity. And the more I put weight on, the more problems that I had. So I did speak to my doctor, and every time I'd see her, she'd try and suggest something about weight loss. And I'd try and put it off and try and get my script or whatever I was trying to get, and try and leave. And she made the comment one day of saying, you're going to die by the time you're 30. And I was like, that's 3 years away. And that's when it hit me. That's when I knew I had to do something. Sorry, I hate talking about that because I get goosebumps. So I agreed to go ahead and have the weight loss surgery. I did it with my husband. He did the whole process with me as well. So it was like a 6-month gap between the initial consultation and then actually having the surgery. My surgery date was set for March 5th, 2015. Prior to having the surgery, you have to do a liver detox, so they need your liver to shrink. I was told, just because of how heavy I was, that I had to do 8 weeks of OptiSlim. It was horrible. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was the most disgusting, vile thing I've ever done in my life. But I had to do it. I had to do it to get the surgery. So I was paranoid that I hadn't lost enough. And on the date of the surgery, even when I was going into the operating theatre, I was worried that I hadn't done enough. Everyone that's been through this process will know exactly what I'm talking about. I was worried I was going to go in there and they were going to open me up and be like, nah, she hasn't lost enough, there's too much fat around her liver, close back up, off she goes. Luckily, I did really well on it. My advice to those that are about to go through it is to stick to the program. So no cheating, no nitpicking, no, just a little bit of this. It's a few weeks of being uncomfortable whilst your body's adjusting and whilst your body's going into ketosis. You really need your body to do this, otherwise it's not going to happen. I had to do 8 weeks of it. The normal range of doing it is roughly 4 to 6 weeks. So prior to surgery as well, I found out that I had sleep apnea. So being told that you have sleep apnea at 26 years old and having to go to bed with a mask on is quite embarrassing, and it was really confusing. And I couldn't understand why I had to wear a mask until they did a sleep study on me and found out I stopped breathing during my sleep, which explained a lot about me being tired in the morning when I'd wake up. And it's basically because all the fat that I had around my neck, when I'd lie down, it would kind of suffocate me while I was sleeping. So that's another thing which is ticked off my list. I no longer have sleep apnea, which is pretty good. So I'm proud of myself for that. Now, after your surgery, when they do discharge you, a few of the main points that I have to say is that you need to sip. It's a pain. You're not going to feel like you want anything, but you have to sip. Unfortunately, I didn't sip enough. I got really, really sick. I got really dehydrated, and I had an infection in one of my wounds as well, which couldn't heal. I ended up going back into hospital, also on the day of surgery as well, because of my sleep apnea and my breathing and smoking and stuff like that. I actually struggled to breathe on my own after the surgery, which was quite confronting, being actually put in ICU. My husband's in the waiting room panicking for hours and hours and hours because he can't come and see me. It's something that I'm glad I can put all that behind me now, and I don't have to, I can just concentrate on the future now. Another thing after the surgery is that everyone has post-baby, I call them like post-baby blues. So you will have regrets. You'll be like, I need a refund. I don't want this. I want you to reverse it. That's one thing with the sleeve. It is not reversible. Everyone has these blues. You're going to be like, why did I do this? I've lost everything. The first few weeks are absolutely horrible. You're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel like, why have I done this? Once you're off the liquid and the puree and kind of on the soft food stage, when you get onto your normal food, your mentality kicks in that you can actually do this, because you realize now that you can have normal food in moderation and obviously healthier options, they're much smaller amounts. So going from like this much to about this much, sometimes not even that much. It was the hardest thing for me post-op to adjust to, but I'm living proof now that you can do it, and thousands of other people are doing it every day. It's a small amount of time in your life where you have to adjust and do something, but at the end of the day, you get to enjoy the rest of your life and you'll be around much longer. I have wrote down a few things for me to go through, which, it's here, just so I have like a checklist to go off. Weight goals. So with my weight goals, when I first did my consultation, the dietitian and surgeon has special scales that you stand on, and it measures your bone, your fat, your muscles, and that's how they can kind of work out where you should be sitting. So my surgeon suggested 86 kilos as my goal weight. Ideally, I want to be around 79, just because I've got to take into consideration my my height and my frame at the moment. I do have another 4 kilos to go to get to my total goal weight. In 14 months to lose 86 kilos is something I'm pretty happy about. So sometimes it's kind of crazy to think that I used to carry 86 kilos around with me. I often think about going to the supermarket and buying 86 bags of flour and trying to carry them, and and trying to think, how the hell did I carry all this? It's unbelievable that I had that much weight on me but didn't feel it. I want to go into downfalls. Some of my downfalls, I have a lot of mental struggle days. So when I say this, a lot of people post-op that have been extremely big and now have obviously dropped so small will understand what I'm saying. But I don't see the new me a lot of the time. I see old me, and it's a sign of body dysmorphia, which I'm currently getting help for. It's because your head takes a lot longer than your body to catch up with everything that's going on. So you will see, I might put a lot of photos up, but it's more of a visual thing for me, because in my head, it's just, when I look in the mirror, it's like, it's old Shan. Like, you look the same. But when I see photos, it's a visual difference. It's really weird to explain, but for those that have had the surgery, they will get completely what I'm saying. Another downfall about weight loss surgery is being told that I'm cheating, that I've taken the easy way out. Having weight loss surgery is a tool. Even before you have the surgery, the hard work begins. So with your exercise regimes and losing the pre-surgery weight with the OptiSlim that I was talking about, and just changing your cooking and your buying habits when you come to food. I haven't cheated anything. I suppose with this kind of stuff, though, you can change it from a negative to a positive, because you've been given this tool. Just because someone's operated on me and removed, a good chunk of my stomach, doesn't make the weight magically disappear. You've had to do all the hard work. I've just had to reprogram my brain on food intake, nutrients. I've had to readjust my lifestyle, introducing exercise, and you're transforming into a new person, and sometimes I don't even know the person that I've become. Even my palate changed, so stuff that I liked before I don't like anymore, stuff that I didn't like before I like, so it can get really weird. Another downfall is, for me, is that I'm still buying clothes that are too big for me. So when I go shopping, I am supervised now to make sure that I don't come back with anything that's too big. So it's just a little introduction to me and where I'm from and, what I'm at. I am currently wanting to try and do like a weekly blog. For those that have been following me on Instagram, my ultimate goal at the moment is to try and get myself organised for a tummy tuck. So I've got a lot of excess skin, probably around 6 kilos worth. Medicare and Medibank have recently changed their policy in the last 12 months. So there's a certain criteria that you have to meet. in order to have the tummy tuck. So currently I'm meeting 3 out of 4 of the criterias. What I've also done is I've set up a GoFundMe, which is to help fund for my tummy tuck. At the end of the day, my dream is just to feel normal. And I want to feel like I don't want to be ashamed of showing off my skin. But then I do, because society is cruel and people are cruel, and even if you've gone through the whole transformation and you've got excess skin, you're still going to be stared at. My dream of having this tummy tuck is just for me to kind of feel normal and to feel like I don't have to be ashamed of showing off what I've worked for. You know, showing midriff items, or, you know, being able to wear a skirt without my gut, not my gut, but my flabby skin just hanging out. There are links which I have posted below. Even if you can donate $1, it's $1 which is closer to my goal. So thank you in advance. So I'm happy to also show my excess skin. I'm not ashamed of showing it. It's pretty disgusting. But all this is excess. As you can see, I can play, I can tuck it. It's disgusting. But some good spandex, some decent shapewear, sorts all that out. So I'm going to start closing this off. Just want to say a big thank you to my supporters, people who follow me on Instagram and Facebook. For those that are about to go through the process, I'm really proud of you. You're about to take the biggest step in making your life more fulfilled, and you're making your life longer as well, so you should be really proud of that. For those that are post-op, thank you for being my support when I need you. And it's, you know, it's always good to have other people that are in the same situation to bounce off. So we've all had to put our hands in to help one another, because it's not just a physical change, it's a mental change as well. I'm getting really meh. Don't cry. A big thing that I do want to say is that secret sleevers are the ones that we need to support the most. So they don't have the friends and family like that we do to bounce off for encouragement. So we need to show these people more love and more support if possible. A lot of people get the wrong idea that them being a secret sleever is them trying to say and cheat, saying they didn't have weight loss surgery. Each to their own. Some people like to talk about it like I do. Some people don't want to talk about it. So for those secret sleevers, I have a lot of respect for you. And I'm always here if you need support or if you have any questions or anything like that. I'm more than happy to answer. If you do know a secret sleever, be really courteous, respect their decision to be quiet about what they're doing or what they've done, and give them as much support as possible. So I'm closing this off now. Again, please like my page, please share my page, please like and subscribe. I do want to empower people as much as I can and let them know that this can be done. I'm basically living proof that this can be done. If I can do it, then you can do it. So all my links are below. Have a look, tell me what you think, and thank you for watching.